Good morning to all. Welcome to Alagappa University. I am Rajavelu from the Department of History, Alagappa University. In continuation of our earlier webinar class, we have seen the magnificent of Chola architecture at Tanjavur, that is Rajarajeshwaram. It is a significant temple. So far, we have seen. The next phase of Chola architecture we have come across in Gangaikonda Sodapuram and Dharasuram. These are the three temples. Now it is under the control of Archaeological Survey of India, declared as the UNESCO monuments on the basis of the monumental work and the magnificent structural vimanas, as well as the sculptural representation, beautiful sculptural representation of these temples. The UNESCO has declared these three temples as the group of Chola monuments. We do not know why Rajendra Chola has shifted his capital city from the wetland area that is Tanjavur to the dry land, the barren dry land, Gangaikonda Sodapuram. So after the victory over, he his campaign um, up to up to Gangas, on the base of the victories, he created this. He founded this small village as the capital city of his empire. He shifted his entire activities from Tanjavur to Gangaikonda Sodapuram and built a great temple like Rajarajeshwaram at Tanjavur in this small village. And he also dug a lake in the name of Soda Gangam. Now, let us see the features of Gangaikonda Sodapuram and Dharasuram temples in this class. Rajendra Chola, the son and successor of Rajaraja, became the king in the year 1012 AD. He served as the subordinate king to his father for 2 years and became a real ruler in the year 1014 AD, and he ruled up to 1018 AD, and he gave his power to his son Rajadityan in the year 1018 AD. But he lived until 1044 AD, according to the inscriptions. We do not know why he has changed his capital city from Tanjavur, the dry wetland, to dryland area, Gangaikonda Sodapuram. The reason behind is he was a great warrior. He always associated with the army people. They were the people lived in this area, in the Gangaikonda Sodapuram area, in the name of Surdimans and Vanniyas, as well as the Mupanar. They were the people behind him for the victory of Rajendra Chola. So he crossed the Bay of Bengal and he went up to the South Asian countries and he subdued the Srivijaya king Kadaratharayan, Sri Vijayadungavarman, and he went up to Himalayas. That's why he had the name Gangaikonda Soran. So after the victory of Gangaikonda, after the campaign of Gangai Ganges, he had a title Gangaikondan. So in memory of, in the commemoration of this victory, he founded the city known as Gangaikonda Sodapuram and built a great temple like Pragadishwara temple. It is a marvelous and wonderful temple having sculptural representation of uh, all the Shiva forms in this. So this is the Gangaikonda Sodapuram temple. It looks like a Pragadishwara temple of Tanjavur. It was built. The temple was built around 1030 AD, 2 decades after the erection of Tanjavur temple. It exhibits the same style, but it has a in diminishing order. The height of the Vimana is only 180 feet, whereas the Pragadeshwara temple it is 216 feet. But he wanted to build highest Vimana, so he enlarged the Adhisthana portions. The base is about 100 square. Hence, the width of the Vimana was increased. He has to increase the Vimana width also, as well as the height also. But he did not do that. The Vimana contained only 8 tiers here, whereas in Pragadeshwara temple of Tanjavur, that is 13 tiers. Though the Vimana has the same construction as that of the Tanjavur temple, there are some novel features, some significant features in this temple we can see. He introduced into the elevation of the Vimana. For instance, the straight line goes up to Stubai at Tanjavur temple. It looks like a man standing. But here, this is in curvilinear form, Vimana. The strong lines in the elevation of Tanjavur Vimana are replaced by elegant curves. The curves gives the Vimana in beautiful manner. The pyramidal body is slightly concave at its angles, and the sides slightly curved to effect a sort of corner outline. These curves enhance the shape of the Vimana, looks like a woman standing. It is a feminine form of Vimana. Many outstanding scholars in architecture, they are considered this is the women form, and the Pragadeshwara temple at Tanjavur is the man form. We do not have the Gobra, though the Gobra was there at the time of construction. The stones have been taken to construct the uh, dams uh, across the Kaveri river. So now it is disappeared, it is dilapidated conditions. The Archaeological Survey of India conserved and maintained as it is. So for the time constraint, I have cut short the most of the features of Gangakonda Solapuram. It is a beautiful temple. We have the same kind of circular passage, and it is also a Sandara type of Vimana. We can go up to the two talas, and there the Vimana base is starting up to Stubi. The Griva and everything is the same kind of Pragadeshwara temple, and it is encircled by the Pragadeshwara Pragara wall, and the corridor also same like Pragadeshwara temple of uh, Tanjavur. It has an entrance on the east, it is facing east, and the Adhisthana portions have as a Upapida in order to raise the Vimana. We have some sculptures on the niches, beautiful sculptures on the niches. Though we have the sculptures in the Pragadeshwara temple itself, but when compared to the sculptures of Pragadeshwara temple at Tanjavur, the Gangakonda Solapuram sculptures are more elegant than the Pragadeshwara temple. This is the Shandesh Anuvara Murti on the northern side of the niche of the Garbhagriha. It is considered the son and father. The Shiva in the form of Rajaraja and Sandesa in the form of Rajendra Sola crowned him as a crown king. So this is a beautiful sculpture on the niche portion of the Vimana. We have not seen anywhere in Tamil Nadu this kind of beautiful sculpture in this temple. Then this is the Lakshmi. This is also in the niche area of the Prasara portions. This is the, we have even Saraswati also in this temple. This is the um, Lakshmi. Then we have this is the Simha Vagini. The Simha is sitting behind of her, and she is having 8 hands with all weapons in a Tribhanga posture. Then we have Nataraja form. We have a proper Nataraja, and also this is also Nataraja in Sadhura Tandava. She is he is standing on Abasmara, and having 4 hands with antelope and everything they have shown. This is also a beautiful sculpture of Gangakonda Sodapuram. Then this is on the rear wall of the Garbhagriha. We have the Lingod Baba, as we have found in Prithviswara Temple too, the Lingod Baba sculpture. This is a very beautiful sculpture, Shiva Parvati. Shiva is admiring to his consort, and he make her to peace. This is a Nataraja, another Nataraja of Sidambaram type. This is the beautiful Nataraja sculptures at Gangakonda Sodapuram. He is standing on the Abasmara, and his all iconographic features is shown here, and there is a um, miniature sculpture behind him. That is Kali with 8 hands. She is also in Sadhura Tandava. We are seeing the beautiful sculpture of Ardhanarishwara, the combination of male and female. And this is a rare sculpture with a oxen is there, and all the features of female and male uh, are shown in this sculpture in beautiful manner. This is the Nartana Ganapati is in dancing posture uh, on the niche. This is also very beautiful sculpture of Gangaikonda Sodapuram. We have interesting sculpture of the earliest Navagragas. Nowadays people are worshipping the Navagragas in a separate mandapa, but this is a combination of all Navagragas. As I told earlier, Rajendra Chola went to Pala kingdom of Bengal, and it is practiced by the local people. After seeing these Navagraha worship planets, even he crossed Orissa. The Konark temple also very famous for that. So it was influenced him, and he brought some stones from there. And this is the booty of the of Rajendra Chola. It was taken from him from that area, and he placed here in Gangakonda Sodapuram. So you can see the 7 horses with the sun, that Surya is there, and other sides all the planets are surrounded with him. So this is the unique sculptural representation of Navagaragas, the 9 planets. This is the earliest specimen of Navagaragas in Tamil Nadu. We have at Gangakonda Sodapuram. We have many inscriptions on the wall of the temple. It is interesting to note that though this temple is built by Rajendra Chola on the basis of his copper plate, particularly the Thiruvalangana copper plate mentioned that he built a temple at Gangakonda Sodapuram to commemorate his victory on Ganges. It is supported by other inscriptions also, but we do not get a single inscription of Rajendra in this temple. Why it is not found, we do not know. But this inscription is of Kakadavela of North India. The Kakadavela kingdom, he had a relationship with Kagadawala kingdom and some of the North Indian kingdoms too. So the Kagadawalas made liberal donation to the Gangakonda Swaram temple. This inscription is in Tamil language, and some of the portions are written in Sanskrit language and in Grantha characters. So the other dynasty people also gave some donations. We have some sculptures, Bengal sculptures within the temple complex of Gangakonda Swaram, and also in the vicinity of the village Gangakonda Swaram. The people are worshipping now in this area. Particularly the Kali worship, the Bengal Kali and the Durga and other female deities. Now they installed in the vicinity of the villages. They are in worshipping. The people are worshipping in that area. So he brought many sculptures from outside Tamil Nadu and placed in the temple Gangakonda Solapuram. The next temple we have um, at Kumbakonam, very near to Kumbakonam. The place is known as Dharasuram. The Dharasuram name is a corrupted form of Rajarajapuram. This temple belongs to Rajaraja II. Rajaraja II built a beautiful temple with many miniature carvings, miniature sculptures. This temple has many miniature panels. Beautifully, it is carved on the pillars as well as on the pedestal, on the Adhisthana pedestals, on the Adhisthana walls. We have secular and religious sculptures we have in this temple. Though the Gopuram is dilapidated conditions, we have sculptures on the Gopura niches with inscriptions. All the miniature sculptures, particularly the story of nine Mars, written with the sculptural representation, written their names also on the temples. This is the unique feature of this temple of Dharasuram. This is the Vimana portions of the Dharasuram temple. It is a only three-tala Vimana with Dravidian order. This is the dilapidated Gobra on the eastern side. This is a big complex like Gangakonda Swaravram and Dara and Pragadishwara temple at Tanjavur. But in due course, the superstructure probably made of bricks disappeared. Only the base portions are available. And we have many sculptures also disappeared, but with the inscriptions we can identify the sculptures. There are inscriptions. They engraved some of the names of the gods and goddesses in the gopuras. This is the very famous mandapa known as Rajagambiran Mandapa. This is chariot model because since they had a relationship with the Gangas, the Orissa people, they made the chariot type of mandapas in front of the temple, the sanctum sanctorium. We have the mandapa as well as the attached with the Rajagambiran Mandapa with the line pillar. So we have many miniature sculptures on the miniature sculptures on the pillars. This is the Rajagambiran Mandapa. We have the wheel and the horse and the elephant is also shown. And on the wall of the niche we have the Agastya sculpture. This is the very beautiful Annalakshmi statue, Annalakshmi sculpture we have at Dharasuram. These are the Vali Sukirava fight. It's shown on the base of the mandapa in elegant manner, in a small miniature bas-relief sculpture. These are the sculptures figured on the pillars. Some of them are related to Shiva Parvati marriage and the Murugan and Valli marriage, and some some of the sculptures of secular. This is the small Vinayaka we have in the pillars. Thank you. Due to, as I already mentioned that we have short of time. We have to cover another portion, that is iconography features of Indo-iconography features. So with this lecture, I will come to the next session, that is iconography. Thank you very much. You have seen already the basic forms of our temple architecture and few forms of Pallava rocket architecture and Pandyas as well as Cholas. I'm sharing my experience. So you have many books to uh, go through. You can go through the books and find more things from the books. But after hearing my this lecture, you yourself think that these are all my experience I added in this series of lectures. Thank you very much.